Welcome back to episode 89 of the ATD Baseball Podcast. If you can't tell, I'm doing the podcast from an undisclosed location. No, I'm just kidding. It's my room. Haven't done this from a while. Up here feels good. It is a very special day today. Listen, he's been out for almost, I think, 2 months. But he's back today. There we go.
There it is. There it is.
Welcome back, Mookie Betts. I'm not going to put it on because it's hot as shit in here. I'm not doing that. It's a hoodie, though. I'm not doing that. And I don't think it fits. However, we got stuff that we want to talk about. Mookie Betts is back today. Honestly, I didn't think he was going to be back so soon. I thought he was going to be back in another 2.5 weeks or even first week of September. But I'm happy. I'm happy his hand healed quicker than I think a lot of people expected. So that's good. But before we get into everything and the other topics we have today, Kyle, how you doing? I know you're playing hurt today, and we appreciate that.
Of course, man. Yeah, I'm a little under the weather. Not terrible. You know, I'm still okay. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of nostalgia here. You know, when I first joined up with you guys with Around the Diamond, this is where you were recording from, and it has been a very long time since I've seen you in this area. So it's taking a trip down memory lane a little bit. Definitely a huge difference from that timestamp. But other than that, man, I'm doing fantastic. Yankees tied for first place in the AL East. I can't complain too much. I had a wonderful weekend up at the stadium.
First time this year.
You know, it is first time this year. Went out with my special person. How
yeah, man,
sweet. It was fantastic.
How sweet.
Always.
Must be nice. Must be fucking nice. Must be nice. When I go to Dodger games, I go with my right hand. Must be fucking nice. Yeah.
Sorry to rain on your parade, Melo,
I'm
but
just kidding.
yeah, we we had a fantastic weekend up there. Got to see 2 games for the price of 1. Can't complain about that. But yeah, man, other than that, I'm doing fantastic.
That's great to hear always. I'm doing okay. Dodgers, it was fucking hot yesterday, I'll tell you that. With all the people walking around and Jesus, everything to cook, the burners on it. Jeez, it was hot in there. But we managed to survive, and you can probably see me sweating right now. But because I was very excited before I came on here, I was talking to you.
Yeah.
So the topics that we have today, like I mentioned at the top, Mookie Betts is back. Feels good. The Dodgers have been scuffling a little bit, and the Dodgers were doing okay for like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Then they started to and then the Dodgers were reminded of why Mookie Betts is so valuable to this team. So I'm happy for that. It is Players Weekend this coming weekend. They're making custom hats for it, and they have some things that they want to do. I'm not feeling those hats, I can tell you that right now. But we'll get into that later on. And then lastly, we'll touch on Yankees-Dodgers. There wasn't a lot that happened this week in baseball, other than the thing that happened yesterday. I understand, but we're not touching on that. Like we know what happened, we know what he said, we know he got suspended. We're not touching that. That's we have limits too here. We have limits too here. We're not touching on that. You know what he said. Whether you liked it or not, and believe it or not, there was probably more people who enjoyed what he said, which is crazy, but again, topic for another day. But where do you want to start? You want to start Players Weekend, or you want to do Mookie Betts?
Well, I mean, I want to hear everything you have to say, so let's go with Mookie Betts first.
Mookie Betts, okay. Oh, hang on. Damn it. Here we go. There we go. Mookie Betts. There we go.
There
yes, look at that. Beautiful right here. Oh, yes. Oh, look at that. I know that pisses a lot of people off, as it should, goddammit. Yes, but Mookie Betts is back today. like I said, I really thought it was going to be a little bit longer because when he first got hurt, it looked like his hand was broken. And it looked like he was done
Yeah.
for the rest of the season. And for weeks, I think the last 3 weeks, up until the last 2.5, 3 weeks, he still had a cast on his hand. So, and then you started to hear he's taking ground balls again. Hey, he's starting to run. Hey, he's taking ground balls, but he's not swinging a bat. Hey, he's starting to swing a bat again. He can grip the bat again. Hey, he's starting to hit, a little harder now. Like, okay. And then all of a sudden we get the bombshell during the homestand this last week that he's coming back Monday. And I think that's awesome. You're going to really see how much Mookie Betts was missed in this starting lineup because the Dodgers have played sub 500 ball literally for the last 2 months, which ironically has been the time when he was out until today when he comes back. Listen, do I expect him to, jump right out of the gate and pick up where he left off in the beginning months of the season, like the first 2 weeks of the year where he was hitting over 450 and he had like 6 home runs and he was clearly the MVP? No, I'm not expecting that. But I like the time frame of when he came back. For these next 2-3 weeks, probably going to see a little bit of growing pains. You're probably going to see some ugly swings, some ugly at-bats. That's okay. Remember, this guy's been out for over 50 games. He's not going to come back, right where he left off. At least that's what I think. I could be dead wrong, but and he mentioned it too when he got hurt. This was kind of a good mental break for him. Because remember, he was the shortstop, and he got kind of thrown into the fire. He volunteered and said he'd do it, and he said it was a joy for him. But you could see the amount of work, and I saw it at Dodger Stadium every day. The amount of work that he was put in prepping for being the everyday shortstop kind of took away from his elite bat at the plate during the games. And I really think that took a toll on him a little bit. Because he was out there for a 7 o'clock game. He was out there at 2:30, 2:45, taking ground balls and doing infield drills. And I think it was kind of getting to him, mentally and physically. And I think it was taking away his abilities at the plate. So him going back to right field now, which is the right decision. When he got hurt, I didn't want to see him go back to shortstop. You have Miguel Rojas, you have Nick Ahmed, you had Ahmed Rosario until today, which that's kind of questionable. We'll get to that later. But Mookie Betts has been dearly missed in this Dodger lineup and in the game also. When he's on, he's a top 5 player in the sport. When he's on, when he's playing good right field defense and his bat is elite, he is so much fun to watch. So I'm happy that he's back today, and at the time of this recording, the Dodgers start in about a half hour. I'm happy to see Mookie back, and we missed him dearly.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just going to double down on everything you said. I mean, Mookie Betts is obviously one of the best players in baseball when he's on, and you can tell just how much that he was missing this Dodger lineup. And I also think that plays a part in why we haven't seen the Dodgers at full strength yet. I fully, truly do believe that we have not seen the best of Dodger baseball since Ohtani signed. I really don't think we have. And I think it is so promising that Mookie Betts not only is back in the lineup, but he's back in right field. I think he's most comfortable in right field. Not saying that he can't play short, not saying he can't play second. I think that's just, the value of Mookie Betts is that he is so versatile and he can play elite defense at each of those positions. But you're going to see a totally different Mookie Betts than what we've seen in 2024. And I think that's because he's going back to his natural position where he is most comfortable, and that should scare a lot of division rivals, especially because we saw what Mookie Betts did in Boston. Trust me, I fucking saw it, and I am so fucking glad that he's a Dodger now. But when it comes down to it, the best of Mookie Betts that we're going to see is when he's in right field. And I also will say this too. I think him playing his best defensive position is going to not only elevate him defensively, but as well as his bat. I've heard Aaron Judge talk about this time and time again. I'm only bringing it up because I'm most used to that. Him playing DH versus the field is completely different for him, and it messes with his swing at the plate. You might not think it because the dude is smashing homers left and right, but when it comes down to it, I think defensive alignment does mean a lot for these guys. And Mookie going back to the position that he is most comfortable with and going back into the Dodger lineup that needs him so badly, I think we're going to see a much better Dodger lineup, and I think it couldn't come at a better time. I mean, 3.5 games is their division lead against the Padres and Arizona. So this is coming at the perfect time for the Dodgers. I don't think it could have worked out better. And not to mention, if they get knocked out a little bit, one rough week, and they're knocked out of the division, then guess what? Now you're fighting with the other wild card spots. And don't have it off the top of my head, but that's gonna make the Dodgers sweat a little bit. But when it comes down to it, Mookie Betts is back. He's one of the best players in baseball. It's great for the game. Um, I'm totally excited to see Mookie back in this lineup and see what he can do.
And they asked him during this last homestand, is he okay being not the leadoff guy? Because it's been ever since Mookie got hurt, it's been Shohei Ohtani in the leadoff spot. That's gonna change. That's gonna change. Ohtani has kind of been slipping a little bit the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been really playing that well at the plate. I think you're gonna see a switch very quickly. I think by the end of this week, I think Mookie's gonna be back in the leadoff spot, and I think Ohtani's gonna be back as the DH. I really think that. Ohtani was fine. He was fine as the leadoff guy, and he showed that he can do it because he's done it. He did it in Anaheim last year in a couple years. He did it in the stretch when Mookie was out. But I really do believe that Ohtani's better in the two-hole, and I think Mookie's better as the leadoff guy. I've seen it firsthand. I saw it 3 years ago when Trey Turner was in this lineup. They tried putting Trey Turner as the leadoff guy and Mookie in third. Didn't work. Clearly didn't work. They flipped them, started to work again. So I think you're going to see that. I appreciate Mookie Betts being versatile and being a team player, and he's willing to play anywhere and in any part of the lineup. But that's going to switch. I guarantee you that will not stay the same the rest of the season. Because they both play off of it better. But I could be wrong, but you never know. That's what I believe.
No, I totally agree. I mean, from what I've seen watching Dodger games, I think Mookie is your prototypical leadoff hitter. And when he is in the leadoff spot, it does. I think it elevates not only him but the entire lineup. Mookie is, I mean, he's a generational talent. He's the type of guy who is likely going to get on base. And when you have the big guys behind him, such as Ohtani, Freeman, Muncy when he gets back, and the rest of that Dodger lineup, I mean, that's only going to elevate. And having him on base, I mean, he's a threat on the base paths too. This is a guy he's a five-tool player. He can do everything. And I can't say enough things about Mookie, and I think he's just going to elevate this lineup more than it already is, and comes at a perfect time. And I think if we are going to see a full-strength Dodger team this year, it's going to be very shortly. I think everything is going to start coming together for the Dodgers, and I think that has to do with Mookie Betts.
Moving on. Players Weekend. This is all leading up to the Little League game in Leesport, Pennsylvania against, I think, Yankees Tigers this weekend.
Yeah.
So they're doing. Let me just get this out of the way. They're not putting nicknames on the back of the jerseys. I wish they would, but they're not doing it. They made that very clear from the beginning, which that was a miss. But they're doing. They're putting numbers. Is it the number of the players that they wear? And they're putting it is it a custom design or any? I think that's what it is, right? Like it's a custom design by the player or something.
I'm not entirely sure if the player designs it, but Okay, the best way that I can describe it is in basketball, the Miami Heat did a few years back. They did a Miami mashup jersey of every single jersey that they had in their rotation, and they put it on one jersey, and that's kind of what it looks like the most to me at least. Like the numbers itself, it has um, it has the player number obviously, and then it kind of just goes with their trying to get the picture up real quick. Um, yeah, it's kind of just like I think they're trying to do like a cool design with the player's number. Um, I guess it's cool. I mean, I don't necessarily have a straightforward opinion on it. I think it was a huge miss by Major League Baseball not to have the nickname on the back of the jerseys, though. I thought that was extremely cool when the Yankees traveled out west to Los
Yeah.
Angeles a few years back. That was something for me as a Yankee fan. I enjoyed that so much because, as everybody knows, the Yankees don't have the names on the back of the jersey. And it was cool to see such a traditional team kind of go out of their way a little bit. And yeah, will they this weekend? Yeah, I guess because, the players get to use custom bats, custom gear, whatever they really want to use. So yeah, they'll be able to express themselves that way. But seeing, you know, BAJ on the back of Aaron Judge's jersey, that was cool. Seeing Big Fundy with DJ LeMahieu, guys like that. It was such a cool thing to see because it strays away from what the Yankees were or have always preached, um, which is cool to see. And I, I don't know. I think it was just a huge miss. I love the names on the back of the jersey, the nicknames. I'm not necessarily a fan of the hats. I think it's cool that they get to personalize it a little bit, but I feel like they could have done a whole lot more.
I think guys like Jared Duran might have to be careful what they're putting on their cleats and stuff. Might have to be careful with that. Uh,
Especially those
yeah,
comments.
you have to be careful what Jared Duran's putting on his bat or putting on his cleats this weekend. Um, there are three different themes according to the article that you sent earlier. Friday's fun. This will be time to show off players' personalities, friendship, and off-field interests. Again, you might have to check some of them at the door before they go out. Saturday, causes. The focus on this day will be on players' favorite charity and community efforts. Nope, there's a joke there. I'm not going to say it either. Uh, Appreciation is Sunday. Players will celebrate the people who helped them in their journey to the big leagues. So they have cool themes all weekend, and I'm sure some
Yeah,
guys are gonna really. You have your guys who you know they're gonna do certain things, and then you have those players that you're gonna kind of have to push, like, hey, put these cleats on, like, put this around your bat. But um, when I think of stuff like this, I always think of Bryce Harper. He's always good with the
oh yeah,
custom cleats and the custom bat and the custom gloves and everything. So he's a player that I know he's gonna deliver this weekend, and he'll probably give something to a good charity and stuff. Um, any other players like that? Can you think of anybody on the Yankees that could do stuff like that? Really show off their
oh yeah.
personality.
I think so, and I think it's two of the new guys. I think Alex Verdugo, Jazz Chisholm
Oh yeah,
Jr. Those are the two that I'm gonna be looking forward to. And I mean, even Aaron Judge too. I mean, he's a guy who always comes out with the
very sneaky
cleats.
with the cleats.
He is, and with him signed with Jordan now, I mean, those are some pretty damn good cleats that he's coming out with. I know for like the Subway Series, Alex Verdugo, he went big on his cleats. He did a whole homage to the city
Oh,
of
that's
New
cool.
York. Uh, I thought, yeah, I'm excited to see some of these cleats that come out. Yeah, no, I do have to agree with you. There's a lot to look forward to this weekend. I like how they really kind of played into giving the players the chance to do something each day, right? So it's not just one day that they have to go big or go home. They get to, express themselves on each and every day. I am very excited for that. It's going to be cool to see. Any chance that Major League Baseball gives their players to do whatever the hell they want, I think is cool. Um, So yeah, I'm very excited to see some of the things that come out this weekend.
Let's have some fun with this. What would you do if you were on the Yankees? What would you do? What kind of cleats? Would you wear a special shirt or something? What would you put on your bat? What would you do? Because I think I have some
I
ideas.
think okay. I think for me, I would do something with the off-green Statue of Liberty look, and then I would just play straight into the city. And also, if I'm on the Yankees, I'm doing something with the Bronx, right? Whether that be graffiti, whether that be uh, the four line, the B train, whatever it is, I'm playing into the community of the Bronx, and I'm gonna put a bunch of subway tiles all over the cleats. I'm gonna play into the city completely, and then all of my gear, my bat is gonna be that Statue of Liberty green. I think that's what I would do.
Uh,
I am excited to hear you with the Dodgers, though.
First off, I don't think I maybe have only seen like one or two people do this. I would have Kobe shoes and I would custom make them in the cleats. I would
I
custom
like
make
that.
those in the cleats. They gave the Dodgers a pair of like these blue ones, and they're supposed to come out next year. And if they do, I'm paying any amount for those. But they're like these Dodger blue, white and blue Nike Kobe's. I would wear those like one of the days. Um, I think I would just like I wouldn't because as you can clearly see, I'm a big food guy. So I would be In and Out Burger, Randy's Donuts. Like I would do all the LA restaurants and stuff, like the places that I've been to. Kind of maybe I don't know, maybe put it on a shirt or something. Like I'd wear like an In and Out T-shirt or something. I don't know. Uh,
I
or
like
like an
that.
In and Out with like the logo with the palm trees. I make that like part of my bat, kind of part of my bat. Um, Man, I don't know what else would I. There's I maybe put I love LA on on my socks or something. I don't know. I'm trying to really trying to think about this. What else would I do with the Dodgers? Because again, you can't really mess with the jerseys and the hat, but there's stuff. I think I would wear stuff pregame. I definitely wear a bunch of T-shirts pregame. Um,
Hmm.
I love LA. Uh, I think I'd wear something from each of my other teams. Like
Okay.
I'd wear like a Kings T-shirt or a Lakers T-shirt or something. Just kind of like, hey, like I'm an LA guy too, you know. Like it's Players Weekend, but like I can do whatever I want, and I would like to represent the other things in LA that make me happy. And for me, it's food and my other sports teams.
There is this was one other thing that I just thought of actually. I would probably do something on one of the cleats with Frank
Oh, I
Sinatra,
like that. There you
right?
go.
Start spreading the news. Maybe have some music notes in there. That's definitely something else I would do. And I also think with Los Angeles, you could probably play into the music game a little bit too. There's a big music culture out
Yeah,
there.
Kendrick. Now he's
Yeah.
kind of like the center of kind of LA music right now. Yeah, Kendrick. I'd put on a T-shirt. I've always seen like the Tupac. His I saw Justin Turner have that years ago. They all had him for warm-ups years ago. It was
Hmm.
always see links for it. It's Tupac's face with a Dodger logo on the bottom of it. It's a sick T-shirt. I've
Yep.
seen that. Um, yeah, I know there's more stuff you can do with it. It's not coming to me right now. I kind of put my own stuff on the
Mhm.
spot with that. But again, yeah, there's so much stuff you can do. It's kind of basically like your own City Connect, like everything else, kind of
Yeah.
like with the bat and the cleats and everything. Um, I think I would honor the legends too. I would honor the guys before me. Like I do something for Koufax, I do something for Fernando, stuff like that. Guys like that. I would do something like that. Honor
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
great
No.
Dodger players before you.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's understandable. I totally get that.
Um, Yeah, so that'll be going on this weekend, and then obviously the end of it is the Little League game, Yankees and Tigers. I think MLB. I like the Little League game. It's always a joy for me to see those kids completely lose their minds when they see like a player or something, because I've always seen that, and all the teams that go to Leesport, they do a good job of signing every kid's baseball. And look, you've even like a couple years ago, you saw the Phillies. They all showed up to one of the games and they were watching it like they were fans. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, no doubt, the Yankees and the Tigers. Now they may not want Javi Baez autograph, but they'll want other people. You know, they'll be looking for other people.
Yeah, no, this is definitely something I always look forward to every year. We have to remember that we were once that
Yes,
age, you know, and
Aaron Judge
I
wasn't
I
coming to
think
my
that's
little
what
league games. I can tell you that.
that's what that's what brings me back to it. Seeing all those kids, having such a good time with the players, and some of those kids could very well be the future of
Yep.
baseball. And that's also another thing that's kind of like a full circle moment. I'm excited to see, obviously this is going to be much later in our lifetime, but maybe some of those kids reaching the majors and then looking back on that moment, and saying, I got to see Aaron Judge in Williamsport in 2024, and it's just that brings you back for the love of the game. That's really what it is. Seeing all those kids and the way that their faces light up when they see the big league players. That's those moments are priceless, and that's always a joy to watch. And then of course you get to watch the game, and those are always cool to see being played at different venues. We kind of touched on that last week too. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, especially this year because it's my Yankees playing. So no, I'll definitely be watching this game.
Lastly on our teams, and then we'll call it a day. Um, just first on my Dodgers, it looked like it was going to be a bad homestand again because they won the first night against the Phillies, and then they lost 2 out of 3. Um, I was there Wednesday night. Kyle Schwarber's 3 home run game. It turned into Citizens Bank Park. Uh, by the
That
it,
sucks
it
to hear.
turned into that by the end of the night. Dodger fans were gone, and it was only the Philly fans that were there. And that was cool. The night before, I got to see. I can't believe I saw 4 Schwarbombs in a span of 24 hours, and I only enjoyed the first one. The other 3, I was miserable. Because the first one I saw, it was like the game was over. I'm like, all right, well, and then the other 3, I don't know. It was just, but they avenged that. They swept the Pirates over the weekend, including giving Paul Skeens, reminding him that, hey, this is the big leagues, my friend. Listen, when you play in the other team, you're in the big leagues. But when you come play against the Dodgers, you're in the major leagues. And that's what happened to Paul Skeens this weekend. Got a little taste of that. This is not the big leagues, my friend. You come to Dodger Stadium, it's the major leagues, God damn it. And that's what happened. They beat him Saturday night, and they swept the Pirates. And Teoscar Hernandez, again, where would this team be without him? They'd be a 500 team or below. He has come through so many times this year. It seems like he wants to be in that position too. He wants to be at the plate with the game on the line. Is he going to convert and get a hit all the time? No. But he seems to relish and want the game on the line when he's at the plate, and more often than not, he's delivered so far. He even hit the first home run off of Skeen's splinker. That hadn't happened before up until this point. Now, he threw it, he completely missed his location, and he threw it right down the middle. Like, it started up, and then it just stayed in the zone right in his wheelhouse, and he hit it out. And you can even say, I saw on the broadcast after he hit it out, Skeens couldn't believe it. He said, "You've got to be kidding me." So that was nice because when he pitched very well against the Dodgers in Pittsburgh, and he made Mookie Betts, Ohtani. Now he hit a home run off of him. He got a home run off of him, but in first at bat he made all 3 look silly. So it was nice to get kind of return the favor a little bit, but just keep reinforcements are coming. Help is on the way. Mookie Betts returns tonight. Tommy Edman and Max Muncy will be returning next week. Just get healthy. Just get healthy at this point. Hopefully Yamamoto comes back. He threw another pen, I guess, over the weekend. We'll see. Um, yeah, that's all I got on my Dodgers. Just short and sweet. Their Midwest trip this week, they'll be in Milwaukee and St. Louis. So, again, this is going to be a tough month because you have a lot of good teams in there. And they lost 2 out of 3 to a very good Phillies team. They swept a Pirates team who, listen, was probably kind of feeling good about themselves. I know the record doesn't really show that, but they're a sneaky team that if they get in, they're going to be dangerous. And now you got the Brewers, who you're fighting with them for standings in the National League, and you got a Cardinals team who's kind of just hanging around. So, again, Mookie Betts is going to be a big boost this week. Also, I feel horrible for Brusar Gratterall. Dude, 8 pitches in and he blows his hamstring out. So sad, but I guess it's not going to be that bad because I saw him out there throwing the other day and he looked fine. So we'll see. But just get healthy. And starters, continue to give your bullpen as much of a break as you can. Because you owe it to them because they've been used a lot this summer. And now you got to start going 6-7 innings and giving your bullpen a little bit of a breather here. But other than that, that's all I got on my Dodgers.
Yeah, going to the Yankees side of things here. I said this to you before we started recording. So obviously, I went up to Yankee Stadium this past weekend to watch Yankees Rangers. I was very, very lucky the way it worked out. Saturday, I got the single admission doubleheader. It brought back my love for the game, right? I kind of want to bring this up real quick. I will always love this game, but when you get to go to the stadium and watch your team, it reels you back in a little bit, and that's exactly what it did to me this weekend. And which brings me to my next point here. I say it all the time. Aaron Judge, right? Everybody knows how I feel about him. I'm constantly glazing over him. The man can do no wrong in my eyes. He went 3 for 4 in game 1, and dude hit. I mean, he's just it's just such a joy to watch, right? And this is what brings me into the Yankees here. This season, I don't know where the hell they would be without Aaron Judge and what he's doing, but I think he is being complimented so much by Juan Soto, and that brings me into Juan Soto too. These two guys are doing such wonders for the Yankees this year, and it's being proven week in and week out, and they're riding them completely into wherever the hell this Yankees team is going to end up. It's going to rely on Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. These two are consistently week in and week out doing their thing and carrying this team on their shoulders. That's exactly what happened this past week. And looking at their schedule, kind of going into that, in about 20 minutes, they start a 3-game set against the worst team in baseball, the White Sox. There is absolutely no reason why the Yankees should not come out of this series with a sweep. And then they go to Detroit, and then Cleveland that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm excited for it. Colorado, Washington, St. Louis, Texas again, the Cubs, Kansas City, Boston, Seattle, Oakland, Baltimore, and they round out their season against Pittsburgh. This is a mild schedule, and no reason why this team should not win the AL East. I'm going to put that out there right now. This schedule it needs to happen. This schedule, they have themselves lined up perfectly to take advantage completely. You have 2 hard teams in that schedule, and that's Baltimore and that's Cleveland. If you want to lose those series, go ahead. But guess what? Every other series that you play from here until the start of October, no reason why they shouldn't be series wins. Every single one of them. And this team needs to do that. From what I've seen, I'm feeling extremely confident with this team. The bullpen does scare me a little bit. I think they need to come around a little bit more for me to feel a little comfortable with them. But other than that, this lineup is starting to click again. And I think one of the biggest difference makers who is not getting talked about enough is Austin Wells. Rookie catcher, dude is just lighting up this entire season, and it's such a joy to watch. The Yankees are getting a really good mix of youngsters and veterans right now, and the way that it's going really does excite me. I love what I see out of this lineup 1 through 9. Obviously, some guys can come around a little bit more, but Stanton just got back, which is a huge positive. If he can start hitting the ball again, Judge isn't going to get his walked. Is not going to get walked as much. So these pretty much just keep doing what you're doing. But like I said, I am going to put that out there 100%, and there is no reason why this team should not win the American League East this year. That schedule, you have to take advantage of it. You don't get those schedules every year, and the Yankees are very lucky to be where they're at right now, given the circumstances that's happened over the last 2 months. They're very lucky to be tied with Baltimore right now, and you need to take advantage of it, because I know for a fact that Baltimore's schedule is not that easy. So, like I said, no reason why this team should not be AL East champs this year, and ride that into October, man. That's what needs to happen. Garrett Cole had a phenomenal start. Carlos Rodon had a phenomenal start on the 2 games that I went to. Stroman looked good yesterday. This pitching rotation is starting to come around again. Luis Gil starts tonight against Chicago. This is what we need. We need these guys to come around and start locking down the pitching staff. Like I said, lineup's doing well. I'm very confident with where the Yankees are right now. They just need to continue to do what they do, and ride this into late September, early October, and see where it goes. But absolutely no reason why this team should not win the AL East this year.
I like that. I got a clip for tomorrow.
Yes, 100%.
I think that's going to do it for 89. We'll be
so.
10 away
Let's
from
go.
100. A milestone.
Man, time flies when you're having
Yes,
fun.
it does. Yes, it does. And seems like we got the boat smooth sailing again.
I think so. We're back on track. Obviously, these last few weeks, podcast has been out at a different time, but I think we're back on track now. And what better time to get back on track? Come on now.
Yeah.
We're in the second half of the season. October is going to come up, late September ball. This is where baseball dreams come alive. This is
Or
perfect.
die.
That
Like
too.
mine. I've experienced that a lot recently in the last 10 years. They die too.
Oh yeah, they do. But at least this is the time where usually 9 times out of 10, us being Yankees and Dodger fans, we can get excited around this
Yep.
time of year. So let's hope that continues and see where it goes.
That's going to do it. Episode 89. Go enjoy Mookie Betts making his return. Enjoy it. We'll see you next week. Adios.